action figure enthusiasts out there, JC here with another TNI news video. Now we've got quite a few things I wanted to cover today, so we're just going to jump right into it. And first thing I wanted to share with you is our first look at what is the Target exclusive Star Wars Black Series Galaxy's Edge Hondo figure. So you may recall this figure was previously released in a box set that was put out at Disney stores and the theme parks about a year or so ago. The Galaxy's Edge Smuggler's Bounty 3-pack, and it had Rey, Chewbacca, and some Porgs with it. Well, now you can just get the Hondo figure by itself, and again, it is an exclusive. It's exclusive to Target. This image comes via eBay, and I believe these are starting to at least hit the back room of Target stores. So I don't think you're going to find them out on shelves yet, and I don't have a DCPI number to give you at this time, but likely you're going to start seeing this hitting shelves in the near future. So if you didn't want to get the 3-pack, I mean, the 3-pack was fairly easy to get. I believe it was sold on the Disney Store website and then also offered at the theme parks. So, you know, if you had wanted it originally, you may have already gotten it. But if you didn't and you still wanted the Hondo figure, now you're going to have another opportunity to do so. And I don't know if this is going to cost $20 or $25. I think some of the other Galaxy Edge figures were costing a little bit more than the normal $20 price, but I don't have an actual price point on this one either. And while we're on the subject of Star Wars, I just wanted to let you guys know, mark your calendars. I believe it's August 21st, not this coming Friday, but the following Friday, where they're going to be doing a new live stream video event. So this coming Friday, which I believe is the 14th, they're going to be doing Power Rangers, but then the following Friday is going to be a Star Wars one. So I'm hearing that we could probably hear what they're going to be doing for their second Star Wars themed HasLab project. You know, I've talked about this before, but not only on top of the Marvel Legend HasLab project, the Sentinel, they're doing a Star Wars one this year as well, and so we'll probably get those details. Okay, and then switching gears to Marvel. So I don't really have anything today for you on the toy front for Marvel, but I did want to share some news with you guys on the Arcade 1-Up front. So you may notice I have, you know, the original Marvel machine, cabinet machine that Arcade 1-Up did for Marvel fans, which features the Marvel superheroes, Punisher, and X-Men Children of the Atom, all Capcom-based games. And earlier this year, they announced a second machine that they were doing that was said to include X-Men Children of the Atom, so the same game that's on this machine, but then also was going to include X-Men versus Street Fighter, Marvel versus Capcom, and then a console game, X-Men Mutant Apocalypse. So today, or just here very recently, they updated on their website. They're doing, I guess, what is a special edition version of that machine that is being offered exclusively at Best Buy. And this one has actually, you know, a better choice of games, I would say. So this one features Marvel superheroes. So again, a repeat of the game that's on this first machine. But then also you're going to get the X-Men, the Marvel superheroes versus Street Fighter. You're going to get X-Men versus Street Fighter, Marvel versus Capcom, and then another console game, one I don't even remember, somehow slipped past me. I thought I had all the old Marvel console games, but this one was called Marvel Superheroes War of Gems, and was on the Super Nintendo system. I had to look it up because, again, I don't remember this one at all, but it was released on the Super Nintendo system, and looks like it incorporated some actual screenshots from the original Marvel Superheroes, you know, Capcom games. So I don't know if it's something they rushed out real quick to coincide with that or what have you. Again, I've never played it. I don't even remember it, so I know very little about that one. But that one is available for pre-order on the Best Buy website. It's being released as a Best Buy exclusive. It does have a hefty price tag of about $500, so more expensive than the previous ones. However, it does have a new feature that their previous cabinet games have not had. They are apparently incorporating a Wi-Fi option where you can essentially connect to the internet and then play people online. So that will be interesting. I believe all the games except for the console game, the War of Gems game, will have that Wi-Fi feature. So if you wanted to play with friends, you know, I guess in this age of of COVID. If you want to social distance and play your friends with X-Men versus Capcom or Marvel or Street Fighter, I should say, or Marvel versus Street Fighter or Marvel versus Capcom, you'll now have the option of playing those games with your friends on the internet. So that's definitely an interesting feature. The Best Buy one also seems to have a riser, a Marvel themed riser, and a stool, which if you have the riser, you don't really need the stool, but there you go. It looks like, at least based on images that are included on the Best Buy website. The Best Buy website doesn't actually give you a whole lot of specific details about the game itself, just the images. But I'm going to assume it has the Wi-Fi feature since it is mentioned on the Arcade 1-Up website. And then also, I'm assuming it's going to come with the riser and the stool since they're pictured on the Best Buy website. But again, it does have a heftier price tag than usual with these machines. It's going to cost you about $500 and is due out in October according to the Best Buy website. Okay, now switching gears to Neca toys. So I've got some news I want to share with you guys with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So first of all, as I'm filming this, it's Monday morning, but I realize by the time you guys watch this, it will probably be after 1 p.m. Eastern time. And so what I'm about to tell you is probably going to be fairly moot. But Neca announced that they are going to be putting up for sale today at 1 o'clock p.m. on their website store, their own Neca website store, that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie deluxe Super Shredder figure that they first showed off at Toy Fair back in February. So it is still a Walmart exclusive. It will be offered at physical Walmart stores, but for online purchasing, they're actually going to be selling it through their own Neca site, and that's for both U.S. and international folks. And again, it's supposed to be going up today at 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So like I said, by the time you actually are watching this video, I expect that it's already going to have gone up for sale and likely already sold out. However, they have said that they have increased production numbers on this figure, so hopefully it will last longer than, say, like 6 seconds. If you do end up buying the figure or tried to buy the figure, chime in down below. Let me know how it went. I'm curious to know if they've increased production significantly enough that it lasts more than just a few seconds. It would be nice if this figure lasted online at least like an hour or so. But, let me know in the comment section, were you able to get it and how easy was it for you to be able to get it? Now, again, if you miss out on getting the figure online, it's supposed to be starting to hit Walmart stores, physical stores very soon. I think like within the next week. So, and again, if they've increased production numbers, hopefully it will be more easily available than like the Casey Jones and Raphael 2-pack, which I've yet to see at any Walmart stores around here. But we'll just have to wait and see. But again, the Super Shredder figure is going up for sale on the Neca web store today, and the actual time was 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then one other quick bit of news I wanted to share with you on the Neca Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle front. So while we don't have any specific details, Neca announced on their social media plans that they are working on to try and offer up the Target exclusive animated series deluxe Metalhead figure, which has been out for a while, but again, very difficult for most of us to actually be able to find. But apparently they are going to be restocking it, and they're going to be doing some type of, or they're at least trying to work out something where they're able to offer it through a pre-order, the restock of this figure. So they as indicated, essentially made indication this is not yet set in stone, but it is something that they're working on. I am going to assume that if it's a pre-order system, it'll be online, probably through Target's website, which unfortunately does mean that the scalper bots will probably still be an issue. It's possible. I mean, with the Walmart stuff, they obviously have worked out something with Walmart where they've been more and more able to sell that stuff on their own website as opposed to Walmart's website for online sales. So who knows? Maybe they're working something out similar with Target. I hope so. With the NECA website, they've at least implemented some things that are supposed to make it harder for the scalper bots to actually get these so quickly. So, it's better that, in my opinion, that they offered these online through their own website as opposed to whether it's Target.com or Walmart.com, neither of which have really anything that prevents the scalper bots from cleaning out the inventory in seconds. And when more details of this become available, I'll be sure to pass it along to you, because like with many of you, I'm still trying to find that metalhead figure. I've yet to see it on any Target shelves, and have missed out when it went up online for like the couple of seconds that it did. Okay, and then the final bits of news I have for you guys today come on the Masters of the Universe front from PowerCon this past weekend, the virtual PowerCon that they did. Now, real quick, I just want to let you guys know, in the last news video, I mentioned how we possibly were going to be getting some new Thundercat reveals from Super 7 for their Ultimates line. Turns out what they were teasing were just some, I guess, advanced reviews from somebody for the first wave of figures. So nothing new was actually announced for Thundercats this week. So, which I think is actually kind of good. Again, as I mentioned in the last video, being that they've already announced 3 waves and we really haven't seen any of the 3 waves released yet. The first wave should start shipping pretty much now, but technically they haven't really released any of them, so it probably is best that they're not showing off anything beyond wave 3 until at least they get wave 1 out to everybody. But for Masters of the Universe, we got quite a few bits of news from PowerCon. So real quick, I wanted to go over some non-action figure news with Mega Constructs and a few other things that they announced this weekend. So first of all, they announced that they're going to be doing some Fisher-Price Little People figures based on Masters of the Universe, which I think is something we've seen before. I think that wasn't really a new announcement, but we got, basically they released an image showing the packaging for the set that they're doing, featuring Man-at-Arms, He-Man, Skeletor, and Beast-Man. They're also doing Imaginext figures for Masters of the Universe. So you can see here they showed off the He-Man and Beast-Man and Skeletor figures. And then for Mega Constructs, they showed off a couple new sets. So first of all, they're doing a Panther with Skeletor set. And this version of Panther will be flocked. And then also a Battle Ram set featuring Mechanic and Triclops. So that's pretty cool. And then the final thing they showed off this weekend for Mega Constructs, for you Mega Constructs fans, are these new Skeletor headsets. I don't know, that's not really the official name, but that's what I'm calling it. So each set comes with a large Skeletor head, and then you also get a little minifigure, Mega Constructs minifigure with a little vehicle or along those lines. So you've got He-Man with a sky sled, you've got Trapjaw with a cannon, which looks like the same cannon that came with the Castle Grayskull. And then you also have not Clamp Champ, but Fisto that comes with an armory type set. So, and again, the thing is you get the Skeletor, which acts as kind of a base, and then you get the little separate pieces with the figures, and you get like little zip lines and things like that. So these are going to be coming out for the Mega Constructs line, and basically it's just an additional way to get minifigures. And then on the action figure front, we got some new reveals for Origins, and then they also announced a new collector-oriented line called Masterverse, which is going to be classic-like figures in the 7-inch scale. And I'll get into more details in that. But for the Origins line, so first of all, they stressed that if you have not found the Origins stuff yet, there is more product coming, and it should be fairly easy to find. I'm kind of, especially while they're Walmart exclusives this year, I'm kind of like, I'll believe it when I see it. But according to them, Walmart should be shipping this stuff in greater numbers in the near future. So just be patient. But even if Walmart really doesn't do that, and I'm sure some stores will stock the stuff better than others, but like my store, I really don't expect to see a lot of the Masters of the Universe Origin stuff out on shelves for any period of time. But even if Walmart doesn't do what Mattel says, next year this will become, it'll no longer be Walmart exclusives. They'll be available everywhere, including Target. E-tailers like Big Bad Toy Store will be able to carry this stuff. I haven't specifically confirmed that they plan to, but my guess is they will. So, you'll be able to get your hands on these figures eventually, even if you can't get them at Walmart. And I might even suggest, if you're somebody who doesn't like Walmart getting all these exclusives, even if you see them at Walmart, you might wait and just buy it, support your small business e-tailer and buy it from there. But definitely I wouldn't resort to secondary market prices on these. Don't support the scalper, because eventually these will be, at least by next year, these will be much more readily available. But they showed off new product for the Origins line beyond just the Wave 2, which are now up for pre-order on, as I mentioned before, though I think most of them have sold out. Most of the pre-orders have sold out by now. I think last time I checked, Orca was still available and Man-at-Arms was still available from the second wave. But like the Trapjaw and the Scareglow were both sold out, and Manny Faces, I believe, was sold out as well. But they showed off some new figures at PowerCon yesterday during the Mattel panel. So first they announced that they're going to be doing, continuing the basic Origin figures, and they showed off new figures for the basic line, which includes the likes of Merman and Ninjor, Stratos, and Mechanic. They also, on the back of the packaging, when they showed off the Panther figure, which I talked about in the last video, we actually saw that they're also going to be doing a She-Ra figure. I think that was actually an accident, but they did confirm that She-Ra will be released in the regular line and be out in the spring. So they did for PowerCon, they did the PowerCon exclusive version, but She-Ra is coming as a mass-produced figure, so she'll be out in the spring. And then they also announced that they're going to be doing deluxe figures for the Origins line. So this is going to include the likes of a Battle Armor He-Man and Skeletor figures, Clamp Champ, and then Ram Man, fan favorite Ram Man, is going to be included in the line. And you can see the packaging looks pretty good on these. Ram Man has some nice accessories with it, and should have his ramming feature and everything, I believe. And then also with the Panther figure, so they're doing two versions of Panther. So the regular version, which I talked about in the last video, which will be released everywhere, but they are also doing a flocked version, which is going to be a Walmart exclusive. And not only is the figure itself, the Panther figure itself, going to be flocked, but the packaging apparently is going to have flocking on it as well. And this is going to cost $24.99, and like I said, that is going to be a Walmart exclusive. They also announced for the Origins line that they are going to be doing a Target exclusive called the Rise of Evil 2-pack, which will feature Skeletor, aka Keldor, before he became Skeletor, and Cronus, which is who becomes Trapjaw. So basically, Trapjaw and Skeletor before they became Trapjaw and Skeletor. That's going to be a Target exclusive release next year, and it's going to cost $29.99. And again, those are the only two exclusives they announced for the line. And again, starting next year, everything will be released other than those two exclusives will be released everywhere. Now for vehicles, they also announced that they're doing a new Landshark vehicle, which is said to be bigger than the original vintage one and has a little more sculpting detail to it. Does have the chomping feature. With the images they showed, obviously this is a bad guy vehicle, so not sure why He-Man's riding around in it. But it's going to cost $29.99, and again will be available everywhere. Should be out next year. And just quick correction on the Panther, the regular version is going to cost $24.99. The Walmart exclusive version is going to cost $39.99. So the Walmart exclusive version will be more expensive. Oh, and then the final thing they announced for Origins is the winner of their fan poll that they did. And the winner is the first appearance Triclops figure. Now getting back to the Masterverse collector line, and we don't have a lot of details. They did not show any of the actual figures off yesterday during PowerCon. They did show us the packaging for the line, which you can see is a window box style of packaging. But these figures are said to be 7-inch scale. They're going to cost $19.99 each. They are going to be released everywhere, so this isn't like a store exclusive line or online only. Anyone that wants to carry these are said to be able to do so, along with the Origin stuff in 2021. These are due out in summer 2021, and they are said to have about 30 plus points of articulation, and they're starting off doing 8 core characters, which I assume means like He-Man, Skeletor, TLM Man-at-Arms, Beastman, Evil Lyn, kind of like we've been seeing with the Origins line. I guess they're going to do similar with the characters. Now, will these be based on their classic looks? Will these be based on their 2000X looks? Will these be based on the new animated series looks? I don't know. You can see from these blacked out images, they don't really look like classic looks with He-Man there. Obviously, that one in the forefront is He-Man. and you can see he's got some type of wrist guard on his left arm there that is not in keeping with his classic look. Also, his shorts look like kind of hang down. His loincloth hangs down a bit more than you see with the classic look. So I get more of a 2000X vibe, but it would be kind of logical, since this is coming out next year, that these are going to tie in with one of the 2 new Netflix animated series, possibly the Kevin Smith one, which I think is going to be more adult oriented, and is said to be a continuation of the original series, but then there's some type of catastrophic event that happens, I'm assuming in the first episode, and that kind of sets it apart. From that point on, it kind of sets things apart from the original series, with a more serious tone and everything. But beyond just that, I'm guessing they'll end up with, they might start off looking like they did in the original cartoon, but after this event, I'm guessing they're going to end up with different looks and stuff so that they can do new product and toys and everything. So it would be a safe assumption to say that perhaps this line is going to be based on, or at least have some figures based on the new series. Nothing says they can't do both, that they can't release both classic versions of the characters and basically updated looks if they have updated looks in the new cartoons. Definitely nothing that says they can't do both. And also, I want to stress, while they hinted very strongly that these were going to be in some way compatible with classics. And I've seen some people say, well, classics aren't really 7-inch scale figures. They're definitely not 6-inch figures. And I think as far as classification goes, classics are considered more 7-inch than 6-inch. So I can't say 100% these are going to exactly scale with the classic figures, but that was kind of the impression that they gave us during the panel yesterday. I don't, saying things would be compatible, so I don't know if they mean like weapons, if they mean like head sculpts. Can you switch out head sculpts between old classic figures and these new figures? I don't know. Where I kind of went with that comment was to say, they did a number of vehicles and play sets for the classic line. So it seems to me that possibly these figures will be compatible with those, and they will end up re-releasing those vehicles and playsets that were released in a very limited fashion before, now at mass retail. Assuming the line actually takes off and retailers are interested in carrying vehicles and playsets and stuff. We'll have to wait and see, how all that pans out and how compatible these will be with classic figures. Hopefully, Mattel, if they're smart, will definitely make these the same scale as the classic figures so that you can display them, with everyone who's already collected the classic stuff. You can then display these with those. And hopefully now, like I said, based on this blacked out images of the characters that they're doing, it looks like maybe we're getting some modern designs, but hopefully they will also continue to incorporate, even if they're essentially re-releases of classic figures in this line as well. But again, those details will be coming in the coming months and days, so we'll have to wait and see. But I'm definitely excited about this, probably more so than the Origin stuff. In fact, I might end up holding off. I haven't yet to find any Origin stuff to even buy, but I may hold off on the Origin stuff and just wait and see what they do with this, because I would definitely, I picked up a few of the classic stuff, but I wasn't into Maddie Collector's subscriptions and all that stuff, so I only have a few. So I definitely would be interested in more of a collector-oriented line than more of the kind of vintage feel that the Origin stuff has. I know there are plenty of diehard Masters of the Universe collectors out there that will end up getting it all. I wish I had the money to buy everything, but I don't, so I have to be a little more choosy. And being that while I like He-Man, I'm not like, I didn't grow up. He-Man, I grew up during the time of He-Man, but I actually really did not collect He-Man figures as a kid. I was more into G.I. Joe and Transformers. So, but like I said, I do worry. I guess I bring this up because I do worry that perhaps Mattel's going to end up competing with itself with both of these being released at mass retail. That they might find that their Origin sales start to suffer as collectors really kind of move towards this line. I'm sure Mattel is hopeful that kids will start collecting these figures, especially the Origin stuff with the new cartoon and everything. But I'm not convinced that they will, especially if they're not easier to find than what they are right now. Now, again, Mattel has stressed that they will be available in greater numbers, but but we'll have to wait and see how all that plays out. But I really hope what doesn't end up happening is that sales on both of these lines end up being weak because they've divided their, the collector demographic between the two different lines. So again, we'll just have to wait and see how all that plays out. But hopefully both lines will be hugely successful and will have a long life to them and will be easily available to anyone who wants to own them. Okay, so that's it for today. I'd love to hear your thoughts on everything I talked about in the comments section below. Don't forget about the contest I'm doing here on YouTube, where I'm giving away $100 store credit to Big Bad Toy Store. I will put a link to the video where I go over the details of that contest in the description below. Like the channel, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification so you're alerted every time I upload a new video. Stay safe out there, guys, and until next time, catch you later.
Hey, thanks for watching today's video, and be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification so you're alerted every time I upload a new video. And be sure to head over to the Toy News International and Marvelous News message boards communities. It's a great place to talk toys and win cool contests like $100 store credits to Big Bad Toy Store. And remember, action figures are great.